Happy Easter. We've made it 40 long days, and all the possibilities are still before us. Happy Easter. If we got to go to Mass tonight, it would actually be a different gospel than the other gospels. It would actually be the road to Emmaus. Jesus encounters these two disciples as they're walking away from Jerusalem, and their heads are kind of hung low, and they're kind of defeated by what's gone on. And the Lord encounters them, and they stop and have a meal together, right? So ultimately we hear the first thing the apostles are doing once Jesus dies, but also as they're encountering the resurrection. So I want to do a couple things in this first video of the Easter season. The first one is I want to go through some Easter ideas that we could have as we enjoy the resurrection, as we see as the apostles, these disciples first encounter the resurrection. How are we going to encounter the resurrection, especially during this octave of Easter? So that's the first thing I want to do. So I want to go through 10 ideas. I gave you 10 ideas for Lent. I want to give you 10 ideas now for the Easter season. Second thing is it's a bit more difficult. I have a special announcement. Well, we'll wait till later on to get at that, because it'll be more tough to get through. So some ideas of how we can celebrate Easter. The first idea. All right, one of the ideas I gave you for Lent was to go to Mass a little bit more, right? If we got to experience Jesus in a whole new way during the Lenten season by going to Mass, even if it's just one more time a week, why would we stop that, right? If you've been going to Mass one more time a week, continue on with that. Enjoy the resurrection. Obviously, especially this whole week, if you go to Mass every day this week, the Gloria is sung at every Mass, the Alleluia is meant to be sung every Mass, right? It's meant to be this amped up and awesome thing. If you can make Mass every day this week, I would highly encourage you to. But if not, for the whole Easter season, and maybe for the rest of your life, can you go to just one more Mass each week? Number two, so we heard in the gospel for the road to Emmaus that as these two disciples are walking along and Jesus encounters them, they stop for a meal, and it's actually at the meal that they realize who they're before, and they leave differently, right? There's something about meals, right? Especially during heightened holiday seasons. There's something about meals. Have you enjoyed a meal with anyone? Anyone you love? Have you enjoyed someone that maybe you don't talk to very frequently, or like a neighbor, or how are we inviting people into the resurrection, even if it's just through breaking bread together in good meals? Number three, my hope is that your experience during this Lenten season has been freedom from sin, right? When we celebrate the resurrection today, that you're more resurrected from sin. I hope that in a very humble way, but in a very charitable way, in a very prudent way, you're sharing that with others, right? Let people know that the resurrection is real in your life, and even giving examples, right? These are the sins that I was struggling with, and this is how God has freed me from them. What a powerful witness for anyone who's, got questions about Christianity. Christian free from sin. I gave the idea to pray before, right as you wake up or right as you go to bed, or both, kneeling down next to your bed. Again, if that's been something good for us, right, to begin each day with God and to end each day with God, right, to surrender our day with God and to thank God for the day, why would we stop those things? My next idea is continue to pray, right? Continue to have good prayer with the Lord, starting by the Adoration Chapel, but also, as we begin and end each day, kneeling down next to our bed and thanking God for the many blessings He's given us. Next weekend, we'll celebrate Divine Mercy Sunday, and the 3 p.m. Divine Mercy Hour is especially powerful, or at least it should be in the lives of Christians. As we're so grateful for what the Lord was willing to do, right? Celebrating truly the resurrection is to remind ourselves that we're celebrating that Jesus ultimately died and death was not strong enough. Keeping up on your 3 p.m. Divine Mercy Chaplet, right? If you're able to, even if it's not right at 3 o'clock or just right around there or sometime in the afternoon, even with your family or your friends, or before you have your meal, or whatever it is, whoever you're sharing the resurrection with, right? Pray in thanksgiving. Jesus died on the cross. right? We don't forget that at the resurrection, right? It's still in our minds, right? There's a reason why we celebrate the resurrection every Sunday of the year, and we have crosses throughout it, right? Because we can't have the resurrection unless there is a death too. I saw this next one last year especially, and I thought it was awesome. Last year, as the pandemic started, I was still in Bloomington, and I lived actually in a neighborhood. The rectory was in a neighborhood. And so there was kids out and about all day long, and families, walking and all this stuff. These kids, and I think it's happened in this area too, took it upon themselves that they would go around and like sidewalk chalk these beautiful stained glass like windows. Obviously, they're not real stained glass windows, but the sidewalk chalk these images. Sometimes they were just of crosses, sometimes they were of crucifixes, sometimes they were like saints, and there was like a couple times where they did like our Blessed Mother or whatnot. One of them was St. Patrick. It was awesome. I think of the joy that would bring to someone who maybe doesn't get a lot of visitors and maybe is still scared to go outside for whatever reason, right? If they just saw some people outside painting beautiful images for them, right? So that when they do, I'm sure they are looking outside quite a bit and just seeing what's going on in the world. They have something beautiful and uplifting to look at. The next one, Matthew Kelly has this phrase, carefree timelessness, of just ultimately wasting time with those that you love. What if this Easter season, right, we made that a number one priority, just to waste time with those that you love. I guess I probably haven't done it here yet, but I will encourage people to embrace what I call porch living. When I was a kid, my dad and I, we just sat on the front porch. We didn't live on a very busy road, and we would just sit out there. I'd have a soda, he'd have a whatever drink, and we just watch the cars drive by and share life, just wasting time. We'd sometimes sit out there for hours with nothing to do, nothing necessarily to talk about. Sometimes there might be a sport, a game on in the background or something like that, but we just killed time. It was awesome. How are you going to waste time with those that you love this Easter season? Again, I think one of the downsides of COVID has been that we have isolation and, lack of unity and communion and whatnot. When was the last time you just went on a walk with someone? What if you started your own ministry called the Walking Ministry, and just every day or a couple of times a week or even just once a week, you just call the family and just went on a walk with them, or call the person, just went on a walk with them. It doesn't have to be a very far walk, it doesn't have to be a very short walk, it doesn't have to be a very fast walk or a slow walk. You just went on a walk. I was moved. I don't think it was during Lent yet, but there was a Sunday I was standing at the side door over by the Adoration Chapel after probably the 10:30 Mass, and it was like 5 families showed up, and they were bigger families, so this was like, 60, 70 people, and they just went on a walk, a rosary walk. It was powerful to see, right? All these young people and, all these different age people just out on a walk, like, it was awesome. Yeah, when was the last time you invited someone to just go on a walk? The second to last one, this is one that actually happened to me in Bloomington. There was a family that decided they were going to have, I think they called it the donut drop-off ministry, or the donut drop-off Easter, or whatever it was. And they would essentially just go buy half a dozen cheap donuts from like Krispy Kreme or something like that, and they would just find a parishioner's house and just drop them off. Maybe, have a brief conversation on the front lawn or whatnot. I love donuts. I said before, I think that I sometimes make donuts. They're usually healthier donuts, but I make donuts nonetheless. What if you did that? What if, whatever food it could be, cake, it doesn't have to be beef, vegetables, I don't know if they'd be as grateful for that, but right, you just got in the habit of getting something easy. Just ultimately, you're giving yourself an excuse to stop by and see someone, right? Dropping off donuts. How's life going? The last one, I saw some people post some comical Easter messages from churches and different things. So you'll find them on the screen, or a few of them on the screen right now. What if you just made signs in the front of your yard? Last year there was this big thing of drive-through graduations and drive through birthday parties and whatnot. I bet that stuff's going to continue to happen this year, or there'll be stuff like it. I went to a 21st birthday for she's like my little sister, but last year, and people just driving through and having a great time. What if you came up with, use some of these messages that are on the screen now, and just put them in your front yard, like you made them yourself, you and your kids or whatever, and just posted them out there. Give people a reason to have joy. Give people a reason to know that we're not bound by what's going on in the world to still celebrate the resurrection. I hope that you're having a very powerful Easter. I hope that you use some of these ideas to have an ongoing good Easter. I hope that, nothing about this Easter, given that it's 2021, that we celebrate with any less solemnity. Hope you use one of those ideas. I really do. Feel free to comment below if you have any other ideas that are creative and fun and whatnot. So again, I said I had an announcement to make, and there's probably other ways, ways that I could announce this. I guess there's no real other better way. I don't know if I necessarily want to make it here, though. You know what? Just come with me for a quick sec, and then we'll get to it, okay? So here we are in the St. Pius X Rectory kitchen. To make the announcement. I guess it's so tough because this announcement entails how we began Lent. We began by making a meal. My special announcement is I made ice cream. Of course, it's a lower calorie ice cream, but I still put chocolate chips in it. It's got some vanilla flavoring in it. It's oh so good. Happy Easter. God bless you all.